Hey there and welcome to the future of mobile application. Before that, if you guys are new here, join to the unbox call. Today we are going to see things to be keep in mind for React Native development. Don't and do's. The firstly, the React Native is a framework. Before that, what is React? So we guys are already know the React is a library. It has something we need to use for the framework to do routing and data fetching. A lot of things having a framework like React Native, Next.js, etc. Today we are going to see the React Native framework. So in the firstly, we need to use the React version. Don't use the lower version. Mark the word deprecated. This means the npm community will not support for the particular version. It may leads to vulnerability and security issue. The hacker can easily hack our product. Regularly follow the version update. It will secure out our app from any vulnerability. So if you guys are using any lower version, consider an example. You guys are build an application last year. So today you guys are working on it. Last 1 year you guys haven't updated any version. So it may leads to a lot of problem. Every time you guys, every month, at least every month you guys need to check the package has any version updated or not. So if this version updated, you guys try to update the particular version. If you guys are using any lower version, many lower version, don't use that. So whenever you guys are using a lower version, it will be mentioned as deprecated package. If you guys are trying to install any of the npm package, you guys need to check in the npm if the particular package is deprecated or not. If it's not deprecated, then only you guys should use. That's the proper thing. Secondly, callback everywhere. Instead of using callback everywhere, consider using promise async await for more readable and maintainable code. Example of callback. So in this example, these guys are using a reading a file using read file using callback. The same thing we can use for promise and async await. Using an async await, it will be used for readability and flow of code. Also, async await is built on top of the promise. The promise have both resolve and reject. If it's success, then it will be resolved. If it's rejected, then will be go to the rejected. If it has any error, then it will go to the rejected. Some JavaScript framework which uses promises. Some of the like Bluebird, Access, Joy, NodeFetch, SQLize, Mongoose. These are the famous packages using the promises. Secondly, variable declaration. Prefer using const or let instead of var to avoid scope related issues. Blocked scope variable declared with const and let are accessible only within the block, preventing in scope related bugs. See here, I'm just having a function. So inside that, I'm just having block scope var is declared as a const. I'm just printing in console inside the if condition. I can able to get a value hello. If I'm printed outside the function, outside the if case, I can't able to get. So this is the block scope variable. When you guys are using this, so let and var also similar to this. If you guys are using this, declaring on a global will be getting a lot of issues. So try to use inline thing, block scope variable to avoid lot of confusions to make code more easier. Third one, use functional component and hooks. So you guys are already know React Native and React uses the hooks is the heart of our application. So you guys try to implement that. Numbers, functional component and hooks for state management and side effect. This modern approach promotes cleaner and more maintainable code. So this is the example for hooks. So I got just created a component. So inside we guys are using use state and use effect. So if you guys are need to know what is hooks, just check the React Native package. We'll give React Native uh, website. I will give a link in bio. Next, implementing code splitting. If you guys are entering all the codes in the same file, will user get a lot of problem, and also for running the thing will get lot of loading issue. So for that we guys need to split the component. For example, if you guys having a home page is having three set of modules. The first one listing names, second one example, second one having some bio thing, third one having some name thing. Okay, try to implement three different component, use the three different component into the same file, import that three different component into one particular file, use that, so code will easily run. Leverage code splitting to enhance app performance. Divide your code into smaller chunks and load them on demand. This ensures faster initial loading time and smoother user experience. So this is the example for that. I'm just having a home page. I'm just declaring that home page as a different module, different component. I'm just importing that home page into the app component. So this is the one example. So like that, we guys, if you guys having n number of things, you just use as a splitted one, use as a chunk, import that. Next, optimizing images. So in our application, using an image causing a lot of problem. Optimize and resize image to reduce the app's overall size. Larger image file can slow down the app and impact user experience. We guys already know for image we are having a different format. That image format, JPEG format, JPG format, all the format we guys are already know. But for specifically React Native application, we should use scalable vector graphics, which means SVG. You guys are already know that extension called SVG, scalable vector graphics. So this will resize according to the screen size. So this will not take a larger size of an image. Consider if you guys having an image called 10 MB, you just try to convert that SVG, convert that image to SVG format, then it will be very slow. It will be like 2 to 3 kbs, and also it will adjust the resolutions, adjust image resolution according to the screen width and screen quality. This is the very important one. Next, wrapper and Redux wisely. If app requires global state management, use Redux and Wrapper. So if you guys already know Wrapper and Redux, so this is nothing but a state management. So consider I just need to store my profile information, need to access that profile information to n different component. So I just need to store globally in somewhere to my application. So for that we can use Wrapper and Redux. So Redux is an external package we can import. So Wrapper is developed by React Native itself. We can use the Wrapper also. So this is state management. You just store the data to the Wrapper. You can easily access whenever we need it. Then over-completing state management. The over-complete state management unnecessarily if your app doesn't require complex state interactions, using local component state might be sufficient. Avoiding the added complexity of global state management solutions. So this is nothing but try to avoid using the state management. So avoid in the sense, if it's not necessary to store globally, don't store it in globally. Just use the local component statement itself. It will be good practice. Next, cross-platform consolidation. Don't assume cross-platform uniformity. Test your product thoroughly both iOS and Android applications. So you guys are already know in React Native we should develop for both Android and iOS itself. So whenever you guys are developing some features, you guys need to test in both the places, in Android simulator also and iOS simulator also. Sometimes some cases will behave differently. Some of the package will not support for iOS. You need to write specifically for Android. Some of the package will support for Android, will not specifically support for iOS. You need to specifically import that. So that's the biggest one. Always use latest API version in a simulator to test. Whenever you guys are using an Android or iOS, try to use latest API version. Then third-party libraries. Don't depend blindly on third-party libraries without evaluating their maintenance. state and community support. Unmaintained library can lead to compatibility issue and security vulnerabilities. As I already told you, the word I just mentioned, deprecated. The same thing applies for here also. If you guys are using a third-party library, you guys should try to check the each and everything. What is that? What did they have? Security things, security certificate have given or not? All those things you guys should test, and also you need to test they are giving the support. If it's not giving support, don't use the package. Mostly you guys try to avoid the third party package. Try to use the React and React Native package itself. 90 percentage of the package React and React Native features are they are already providing. Try to use that. Avoid code repetition. As I already told, try to split the code and use. So same thing, while splitting the thing, you guys can make this as a component, you guys can reuse. Giving an example, you guys will need to implement a button for whole over the application. Having a different styles, consider you guys in whole over application, you guys should have three different styling button. Blue button, red button, and yellow button, three different button. So don't use these three button directly. Just implement these three button as this single button. Just implement button as a component. Whenever you need, you just call the file. While calling the file, pass the props as a color, style, both. So for implementing a single code, you guys can use three different button with n number of modules. So it will be reduce the lot of complicated code and avoid the code repetition. This is the one example. Try to implement reusable component. As app grows, refactor code to maintain clean and organizable code repos. This helps introducing reducing technical debt and makes further development more manageable. Hope you guys learned a new thing today. If it's really useful, give a thumbs up and subscribe. Having any queries, reach me on comment box. Thank you guys.